Project 1065, Chapter 38, Unfit to Live. First up were the intelligence tests, which we both passed easily. We recited facts about Hitler's first glorious yet illegal attempt to overthrow the German government in 1923, quotes from Mein Kampf, evidence from the Nazi biological theories, more propaganda about how the Fuhrer had saved Germany from humiliation and economic depression of losing World War I. I remembered all of it the way I remembered the words and numbers on the Projekt 1065 blueprints with only a glance. It made me sick to my stomach to repeat all the Nazi lies as facts. It made me want to scream that none of it was true, and every brown-shirted boy among us was the world's biggest joke. But I had to remember why I was doing this, to get close enough to Fritz to see the rest of those plans. The physical tests were much more demanding, particularly for Fritz. Each Hitler Youth candidate had to meet a minimum requirements in different events, and SRD candidates were expected to be among the best. We had to run 60 meters in 12 seconds, long jump 2.75 meters, and throw a softball 25 meters. I did all of these with ease and spent the rest of the time rooting for Fritz. He struggled to meet the minimums, but he was running, jumping, and throwing faster and farther than he had ever before. He had a wild look in his eyes, like he refused to fail, like he wanted this more than any other thing he's ever wanted in the world. I wondered again what was driving him to not just be promoted within the Hitler Youth, but to want to be in the SRD. Almost everybody else dreamed of ending up in the Air Hitler Youth, the Special Youth Division of the German Air Force, where you got to fly gliders and train to be a pilot. One boy was even weaker than Fritz. He clearly had asthma, and by the time we got to the gymnastics tests, he was so out of breath he couldn't go on. He begged for another chance, begged for time to get his breathing under control, but the Hitler Youth boys in charge of the tests were merciless. "You aren't fit to be a Nazi," they told him, which means you are unfit to live. I saw a flicker of doubt dull the wild look in Fritz's eyes as the asthmatic boy ran away, gulping down tears. I knew Fritz was imagining himself failing the physical tests and sobbing all the way home. He was so wound up about all of this. I was worried he would kill himself if he didn't make it. I put a hand on his shoulder. "Come on," I told him. "We've trained for this. You can do it. Both of us can." Fritz nodded, and the steel came back to his gaze. He had done better than either of us had expected, but we both knew he wasn't in the clear yet. The real test for me was still to come, the dive off the 2-story tower into the water. But the real test for Fritz came first, the boxing test.